Hello, hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? I make the assumption that you can. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining me today for some baseball. What time does this game start? Okay. What time did the game start? We are gonna start in like a minute. So just to let you guys know the format of this. Oh, I'm very quiet. I am really quiet. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I'm already in the yellow and red and pretty much screaming into this. Um, well, welcome. Well, yes. Who is the broadcaster? I'm Enoch, and I am the current GM of the Kansas City Hefcats, and soon to be the GM of the New York Voyagers. And oh, okay, good. You good? I'm good volume. Okay, good. Um, just turned you up. Oh, okay. Yes. What's going on? So welcome. This is I actually don't really recall how many seasons we have done the rookie showcase now. I believe it's the fifth or the sixth. I could be wrong. Um, and The goal of this is simple, just to have something fun for us to do in the off season, and a chance for everybody who's new in the league to have a chance to see their players play for the first time, and get a little draft hype going on. Yes, I am lonely. I was supposed to have a co-host, and apparently they're gonna be late. So here I am all by myself. Sad. Oh, I have a secret crush on you too, Van. So I think we're quite it's, the feeling's mutual. So for anyone who are new, the format of this is pretty simple. There are four teams, and I'll introduce the teams in a bit. There are four teams, and they're gonna play a 8 season, quote unquote, regular season schedule. We're not showing all the games. You know, that'll be insane. We'll be here forever if we did that. I They're gonna play 8 regular season games, and then all four teams will go into a playoff format, into a best of 5, followed by a best of 7. And the regular season is just for seeding, and just to get a couple more games on there because we used to do just a best of 5 and best of 7, and unfortunately, there's always seems to be a team that just gets swept in that first round, so people never really get to see their team. So we added in a few more quote unquote regular season games to kind of give people a little bit more of a chance to see their players. And yeah, uh, and let me see. Let me just move us into here. So I'm gonna introduce the teams a little bit. And well, first we'll go to the London Spitfire, which is GM by Project Saint. And well, first I would like to thank all the GMs that volunteered the time to draft the teams and whatnot. It was a little bit chaotic this season. Actually, it's always chaotic, but so I do apologize for that. But first, like I said, London Spitfire. That's with Project Saint. I'm just gonna go over the lineups really quick. So this at second base is Reggie Strub. At DH is Barry Bonds. First base is Vincent Aldrich. Catcher is Lucas Arnold. Right field is Ronnie Anderson. Third base is Jack Pine. Center field is Connor McNasty. Shortstop is Jet Stargasm, and left field is Jeffrey Gibber. So I forgot to mention this before. Obviously, there are four teams, and we need to fill out the teams as each team has 19 players. So there are 100 TPE inactive players from past seasons in here. So they kind of mixed in here. So not every one of these are current draftees. So and so we'll move on to the pitching. The starters will be Steven Sykes, Cameron Grimes, James Lang, and Gilberto Lamar. In the bullpen, we have Charlotte Winters, Kyle Bowler III. There's a story behind that, and I'm not going to go into that. But Adam Mosley, Ariel Renato, King Trapstar, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Waiting for the cheese. Yes, we will get to the cheese. And we're going to go to Jacksonville Sorokas. That is GM by Roxas. And congratulations to him on getting drafted last night, 4th overall. Good stuff. Very, very happy and excited for him. We'll go to the lineup first. At center field is Boston Edler. Left field is Johnny Lindale. Right field is Ronnie Anderson. And yes, there's a story behind there's 2 of them, because that's how we were a little bit I didn't pay close attention, and they're drafting same people, so we ran out of time, and I wasn't about to correct that. Draft leak? No, that was Roxas is from the majors. So he was drafted last night, 4th overall by the Surge, I believe. So at first base is Ken Murphy III. At catcher is Bobby Rowe. Second base is Daniel Caterney. Third base is Kevin Dotson. Shortstop is Kyle Elias, and the DH is Max Bennison. Bennigson. I hope I said that right. For the starters, little smoothie Vert. I am not going to try to say Brain's name, but it's Ragnarok. Because he's Breeze Larian and Jenkin Millers. And in the pen is Adam Mosley, Nolan Nola, Aaron Kozak, Konstantin Khan, and Don Dang. And the third team we have is the Flint Generals, which is GM by the Sparky D, who has been a GM in this tournament for like 3 seasons. He kept volunteering, so I never really said no. So he just keeps coming back. And at right field is Jerry Rice. Left field, Xavier Washington. Center field, Jose. Third baseman is Hayden Andrews. Shortstop is Sneaky Snack. Second base is Cooper Copeland. DH is Stan Marsh. The catcher is Bjorn Vigosson. And the first base is Jacob Minion. And we have in pitching Jandy Ronson, Ryan O'Reilly, CJ Brandonson, and Ike Wolfing. Wait a second. Oh, I hope this is not going to screw this up. But okay. No, I just realized there might be a mistake. This is. Sorry, give me a second. Haha. Oh, this is. Oh, this is gonna. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, right. I did do this right. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's been a very long week for me. Okay. Charlotte Winters, Marion Rodriguez, who is spelled wrong. Yes, I apologize. We changed it. I have it to be set to be fixed in the actual real file, and that will be fixed. Sayosi Oh goodness. Multi. Oh goodness. Okay. So I apologize for just absolutely butchering that, because that's going to happen. Profane name. It's not even profane name anymore, so the user changed it again, but I didn't have time to change it. King Trapstar and Faye Salinger. Yomungundir. Oh, Jormungundir is how you say it, I believe. Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that I said it, and Brain's gonna have to deal with it. The last team we have is the Shreveport Flamingdillos, which is GM by Dylan, who's returning for his, I think his second or third. I think it's also third time. And the lineup goes Jet Jaguar at first, Jack Condor at third, Noah Johns at DH, John Doe Jr. at center field, Dustin Johnson at center, Zaron Pryor at left field, the Cheese at right field, Ringo Starr second base, and John Gibson at shortstop. And for pitching, we have Harley Fank, John Perry, Freddie Huff, Bryden Grisby, and in the pen we have Conrad Bremen, Kyle Buller Sr., uh, Spruce Butter, Deez Huavez, Huavos, um, and Kyle Buller Jr. Again, story behind that, but uh, and Aaron Kozak. Yeah, so Dylan Free Zone. um, yes, Burr. Dylan Free Zone. Um, okay. All right, so we're gonna hop into it. So we're gonna show. We're gonna do. How we're gonna do this is that we're gonna do two regular season games. One will be the one for today on the 21st, and the next one will be on the 28th. And in between, we're just gonna go through quick simming and going through the box scores really quick, and so we could get to the actual live games. And in the playoffs, we're gonna show the elimination games only again, or else we're gonna be here for a very very long time. But so without, so let's see. We are going to the first game of today, which will be the London Spitfire at Shreveport Flamingdillos. So, hi Brain, how are you doing, buddy? And I'm gonna go here, and let me just make sure a few things are set properly. That's on CD player size. I'm gonna do 170. Very fast. Yeah, cut this down a little so it's not yelling in our ears. Very fast, fine. And we're gonna turn this on so we can see the other game going on. And I'm gonna disable this guy because this is annoying. Okay, so we have Steven Sykes versus Harley Fank, and it does look like the Spitfire has a slight advantage over the Flaming Dillos. So, yes, Brain, you are here somewhere. And for the life of me, I can't completely remember where you are right now, but yes, you are. And so, we'll get to that. No, he's starting, not on the bench. Not on the bench. So, alrighty. And we're going to kick this game off. Start game. Let me bring up the other game, and we're gonna move this right over here. Oops. And here we go. London coming up to bat first versus Harley Fank. And that is a base hit by Shrub to the left field side. And now Barry Bonds up to bat. And he will hit a grounder towards second, and they will only get one out. So it's 1 on, 1 out for Aldrich, who will walk. So it's man on first and second for London, with Arno coming up. Arno will hit this one between the shortstop and third, and they will hold everybody, and their bases loaded now. And Anderson grounds out into a double play to end the inning. So London threatens but do not score. And now we're going to go to the bottom of the first. The Dillos coming up with Jaguar, Condor, and Johns. And Jaguar pops out to the third baseman. Condor will hit a line up the middle for a base hit. And Johns will be coming up, batting third. and he will walk. So it's first and second with one out for the Flaming Dillos. And John Doe Jr. will walk as well, loading up the bases. So we're seeing 2 loaded bases now, and that is a fumble bumble, and everyone is safe. I think it's Condor that came in to score, and that is a base hit by Pryor, a double, and that was score 2, a standing double for Pryor, and the Dillos takes a 3-0 lead. Make that a 4-0 lead. Would it get 5? Yes, 5-0 lead. So the Cheese knocks in the other 2. And a strikeout by Star. And that would be the second. Out of the inning. And a pass ball. And Cheese will make it down to the second. And that is a fly ball to right by Gibson. And that will end the first. As the Flaming Dillos take a 5-0 lead over the Spitfire. So Hank coming in again, and he will strike out Pine for the first out of the inning. McNasty coming up, and that is a grounder to first, and the first baseman will just take it for the second out of the inning. And a strikeout by Sargasm, and that will end the top of the second for London. With the Flaming Dillos coming back up with top of the order again with Jaguar, Condor, and Nose and Johns. I'm sorry. And Jaguar strikes out. Condor will hit a liner back to the third baseman for the second out, and Johns will hit a deep fly ball to the right center, and that's gone. That's 448 feet, and the Dillos are up 6-0. And so not going well for Steven Sykes there. And that is a base hit by John Doe Jr. And two out stuff going on here for the Dillos. But Johnson strikes out to end the bottom of the second. We'll move to the top of the third, where it will be Gibber, Shrubs, Bonds coming up. Yes, Sparky, I see you saying my name a lot of times. I thought there was... So, okay. I don't know what you want. So Pryor will... I'm sorry, not Pryor. Shrubs will fly out to left, and Bonds will hit this one into the gap, and he will round first and slide into second for a double. So a 2-out double for Bonds, and Aldridge coming up, and that will be a liner to center to end the inning. So the Flaming Dillos still up 6-0. And we move on to the bottom of the third. Pryor will hit a ground ball to the shortstop, but he will beat it out. So 1 on, nobody out. And there will be a pitching change, but the Cheese lines this one past the shortstop. And Star will be coming up, and he will walk as Renato, who came in, gave up a hit and a walk. The base is loaded again for Gibson, who will hit this into the left field, and that will score a run, make that 7-0 Flaming Dillos. As Jaguar comes up, and he will hit this into right field, and another run scores 8-0. And they just keep going and going and going. Condor will walk up, and we still don't have an out. And it's 9-0 now. Oof. And the ground ball to, and a double play as John's hitting a double play, but they will still score a run. It's 10-0 with 2 outs on the bottom of the third. And a grounder to the second. Oh, no, never mind. Good diving play, bad throw. That's an error, and Jaguar comes in to score. It make that 11-0. And Johnson up the middle, and that was a base hit. And with Pryor coming up, he hits this one to the second baseman, and it finally is over for the bottom of the third. They move their lead up 11-0. And okay, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the chat there, but Arno grounds out to the shortstop. Anderson hits this one into center field, and that will be caught for the second out. Pine coming up, and he will ground this to third, and that is the third out. So clean innings here for Harley Fank. Three innings with 4 innings pitched with 3 strikeouts, and most importantly, no runs. And that is a ground ball by the Cheese, and they finally get him out. Ringo Starr coming up, and he will walk. And John Gibson now up, and he will hit a little grounder. And he'll beat it out. First and second now with 1 out. And that is a ground ball to second. They can only get 1, so it's first and third with 2 men out on the bottom. And Condor will ground out to the second baseman for the third out of the bottom of the 4th. Still 11-0. Flaming Dillos lead. And that is a base hit by McNasty to lead off the inning for the Spitfires. Stargasm will strike out looking. Gibber comes up next. And he will hit a little fly ball to right, and that will be the second out of the inning. With Strubs coming up, and he will strike out looking as well. That is the 5th strikeout by Harley Fank, and we're moving to the bottom of the 5th. Still 11-0. The Flaming Dillos lead. Pitching change. Obi-Wan Kenobi comes in, but gives up a hit to Johns really quick, and a fly ball into the gap, but that will be caught by the center fielder for the first out of the inning. Johnson comes in, and he will strike out against Kenobi. Pryor coming up, and he will walk, so it's now 2 on, 2 out for the Cheese. And the Cheese will ground this into to the third baseman, who will throw it to second for the third out of the inning. So we are now through 5, and still 11-0. And a strikeout by Barry Bonds to start off the top of the 6th for London. Aldrich up. And a ground ball to the third baseman, and that will be the second out. And a base hit up the middle by Arnold. And that will be 1 out with 2 on. 1 on with 2 outs. And Anderson grounds out to the shortstop. He will throw to second for the force, and that will end the inning. End the top of the 6th. Still 11-0. And the Flaming Dillos coming up. And Ringo Starr will lead it off with a base hit past the second baseman, John Gibson, coming up, and he will hit a little grounder, and the catcher will throw to second for the force, but there will be no relay. Jaguar will strike out, swinging for the second out of the inning, and a ground ball to first by Condor to end the inning. So we're going to go to the top of the 7th, 11-0. The Flaming Dillos lead. Fank's still in there, and he will get Pine to hit a little blooper, a little fly, well, not even a fly ball, it's like an infield fly to second. McNasty will ground out, and Sargasm will strike out looking. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Farley Hank, who has been spectacular so far. 7 innings with 7 strikeouts. No runs given up. Obi-Wan Kenobi still in there, and a little dribbler by Johns, and he will beat it out. Doe comes in, and he will hit a... okay. That was glitchy. So apparently that was a double, but sure. Okay. And Johnson grounds out, but the run comes in, making it 12-0 now. And a ground out to third by Pryor, and with the Cheese coming up, and he will hit this into left field. It will be caught for the third out of the bottom of the 7th, and Shreveport is now up 12-0. Top of the 8th coming up. Gibber will hit a fly ball to center, a shallow fly ball, and that will be caught for the first out. Shrub comes in, and he will ground out to the first baseman. Bonds is up, and he will hit this past the first baseman for a base hit. And Hank is Harley Fank is still in there, and a uh, a ball past the third baseman, and Aldrich would get himself an RBI double. So London finally scores a run, and is now 12-1. And this one is hit pretty deep, and that is gone. A 404 feet home run by Arno, and it's now 12-3. All right. I root for chaos, so Fang's still in there, and that is a base hit by Anderson down into the wall, so he'll make it in with a double. And up the middle by Pine, and that should score Anderson, and it does. It's now 12-4, and it's still with 2 outs. I think they did all this with 2 outs. Aaron Kozak comes in, and he will get McNasty to. No, he would not get McNasty to ground out. McNasty beats it out. But it doesn't matter. Stargasm strikes out looking, so that will end the top of the 8th, 12-4 now. The Flaming Dillos over the Spitfire. And Star leads it off with a fly ball to center for the first out. Gibson up. He will walk. And Jaguar is up, and he will strike out for the second out of the inning. And Condor will strike out, looking to end the bottom of the 8th. So now we'll move to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Spitfire. They only need 8 runs, right? They can do it, right? That is a ground ball by Gibber to shortstop, and that's the first out. And Strub comes in, it's up, and he will get a little liner past the second baseman for a base hit. And so will Bond. So it's 2 on with 1 out for Aldrich. And Aldrich will hit this one relatively deep to left center, and it'll be caught. And Strub will move to third. So first and third with 2 outs. And this one gets Arnold lines this past the right fielder's head, and he will make it all the way to third, and that'll be a 2 RBI triple, making it 12-6 now. And with Anderson coming up, and he will get a base hit, and that will go down to the wall. So Anderson will get himself a double, and it's now 12-7. And that is a grounder by Pine to end the game, with Spruce Butter coming in for 1 pitch. Or I don't know if it was 1 pitch, but there was definitely 1 out. So good job, Butter. So this one is pretty much all Flaming Dillos, pretty much up until the last couple of innings, I guess. And we'll take a look at the batting. On the London side, you have Strupp with a couple of hits along with Bonds, but the big game is Arnold who went 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Over on Streetport's side, we have a hit from everybody. Johns gets 3 hits and a couple of hits from Pryor and the Cheese along with Gibbons. Over on the pitching side, we have Sykes, who made only 2 innings, giving up 6 runs and taking the loss. Hank, who was really good up until the 7th. The stat was much better than stat lines, but he did give up 10 hits, 4 earned runs, and struck out 7. And your player of the game is Lucas Arno, despite being on the losing team. So, I'll leave this, and we're going to... I'm going to save this because just in case it crashes. But we'll take a look at the other game, which is the Flint Generals and the Jacksonville Sorocas. And the Sorocas beating the Generals 6-5. What seems to be a walk-off? Oh, yeah, it must be. Yeah, so looks like the Generals took the lead. And then, no, what did they do? I can't do math right now. So either way... we'll take a look at We'll take a look at the batting for the Flint side. The Copeland went 2 for 4 with an RBI, along with Minion going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Over on Jacksonville's side, Adler and the other Ronnie Anderson going for 4 for 6 with 2 RBIs, and Ken Murphy the third 2 for 5, and everybody got a hit on that. Pretty good. And let's see, Winters will take the loss, and Mosley will get the win despite giving up 3 runs and blowing the lead. And player of the game is the other Ronnie Anderson. That's fun. Okay. So, you should be in this game. I don't know exactly when, but you're definitely in this game. But I believe you're the number 2 starter, so you should be going in the next one. Oh no, I can't remember what team you're on right now. So, but we'll take a quick. Yeah, so you're general. You're on the general side, and you're number 2. So you should be going the next day. Okay. I apologize. I need to get some water because I am dumb and didn't get myself water, and now I'm like really, really thirsty. So I am going to get myself some water while you entertain yourself for 3 seconds. This is my stream, Sparky. I can do whatever I want. Okay. All right. So 21st is over. So we're gonna do some box scores until we hit the 28th, where we'll see the Generals and the Sorokas again. That will be our second game. But we're gonna go through the box scores for the next few days really quick, and so we're gonna move on to the next day, and we're going to play the first one. And oh my goodness, the Flaming Dillos beat the Sorokas 14-10 because who needs pitching? And so let's go through the box scores because this is gonna be fun. Over on Jacksonville's side, Kent Murphy the third with a 3-hit day, couple of RBIs, and Eliason at the bottom of the order with 3 for 4, and along with Bennington, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Over on Shreveport side, you had Condor, Johns, Doe, Pryor, Cheese, all with 3 hits, along with Starr, who had 5 RBIs in the game. Over on the pitching side, yeah, that's a lot of crooked numbers. So, yeah, just not good. What? Ooh, why did he come out of the pen? I don't think he was supposed to come out of the pen. I don't know what happened there. Let me just check. He was not supposed to come out of the pen. Why did he? Did I miss that? Oh, why is he coming out of the pen? Okay, that is my fault. I will see if I can fix this later. Sorry about that, brain. I must have missed that. I guess the AI dumped you in the pen for some reason. And I completely missed that. That is my fault. That is my fault. So we're gonna go back to the box score. So Perry, yeah, just Huevos? Is that how you say it? I don't know. With the win for Shreveport side, did pitch a couple of clean innings along with Bolo Jr. The player of the game is Ringo Starr. Rigged. Yeah, it is rigged. I so rigged this. And we're gonna do the other game of the day, which is Spitfire at the Generals, and the Generals will win 4-3. And let's take a quick peek on our stats. On London's side, Arnold with a couple of hits, off to a good start in this in this tournament. McNasty went 3 for 3. And over on Flint's side, Andrews with a 2 for 4 with 2 RBI day. And that's pretty much it. And going down to the pitching, Grimes with the loss, and Wolfing with the win on the other side, and Rodriguez gets the save. And the player of the game is Ike Wolfing. So move on to the 23rd. The Spitfire X Sorokas. And the Spitfire will get their first win, beating the Sorokas 5-3. Uh, not, okay, this normal game. And London, there's 2 for 5 from Barry Bonds, 2 for 4 from Arno, who's still batting 615 right now. So off to a great start still. Gibber with a 4 for 4 day at the bottom of that lineup. Jacksonville's side, Eliason with a 3 for 4 day. He's batting over 600 still. That's after 3 games. And over on the pitching side, Bowler the third gets the win. Winters gets the save. And Nola gets the loss on Jacksonville's side. And Gibber is the player of the game. Please show Dylan and I's game. Yes, that I believe that is the one that is Knicks. That's on the 28th, Sparky. So you guys won't face each. Let me triple check that. I believe I'm just gonna go here. No. We showed. No, Sparky. We showed. We showed Dylan's game first. It was so the next game would be. There will be 2 regular season games, or else it's just gonna go too long. So yeah, because we still have the playoffs to show. All right, so we're gonna go to the other game. And the Flaming Dillos shut out the Generals 2-0. And over on Streetport side, you have I guess John Doe Jr. with a 3 for 4 day, but not too much going on here. It's a very low scoring game. On Flint's side, he only had 2 hits from Sneck and Vigozen. And on the pitching side, Huff, just who's always a beast. Freddie Huff, 5 innings for 5 strikeouts. We have the bullpen was basically shutting it down the rest of the way. Bremen with the save. Over on Flint's side, O'Reilly getting the loss, but did pitch well. 2 earned runs over 5 innings, striking out 5. And their bullpen was pretty darn good too. And the player of the game is Freddie Huff. And we'll move on to the next day. I'm gonna save this in case. So yeah, on the 24th, we will try to get through this so we could get to the other game quicker. So Soroka is beating Flaming Dillos, handing the Dillos their first loss, 5-3. So Streetport side, Johnson with a 3 for 5 day. And Johns is starting to come back down to earth. He's only batting 563. Oh no. And Jacksonville side, Adler with a couple of hits, along with Murphy and Rude and Bennington with a couple of hits as well in the bottom of the order. On Streetport side, Butters gets the loss. Butter gets the loss, and on Jacksonville side, Nola gets the win and Mosley gets the save. Player of the game is Boston Edler. Rude. And we have the Generals at the Spitfire. And the Generals will beat this one in a high-scoring affair, 11-10, out-hitting the Spitfire also 18-15, because pitching. Why not? On Flint's side, everybody gets a hit. Jose and Andrews gets 3 hits apiece, and Sneck with 5 RBIs. A couple of hits for Figoson and Minion on the bottom, and we also have on London's side Strupes with a couple of hits, 4 for 5 days from Arno with 4 RBIs. he's absolutely OP right now, batting 667 with 9 RBIs. Uh, and Stargasm with a 3 for 4 day on batting on the eighth spot. On Flint's side, yeah, uh, the starters were not good. So, but Salinger gets the win. The bullpen did pitch well overall with a lot of innings. London's side, Mosley gave up the 5 runs for the loss, and yeah, and the player of the game is Lucas Arno. No surprise there. And now we're gonna move to 24th, 20. Get to the 25th is an off day. And we're gonna get to the 26th. Soroka is beating the Spitfire 4-2. Jacksonville's side, we have Kent Murphy the third with a 3 for 4 day. Dotson and Eliason with a couple of hits along with Lindale. We have on London's side, Arnold with raised his batting average by going 3 for 4 and now batting 682. Pine with a 2 for 3 day. And over on the pitching side, Smoothie with getting the win. And Ragnarok with the hold, Kozak with the save. On London's side, Sykes getting the loss. And the player of the game is Lil Smoothie. And so we have the other game, Generals and the Generals will beat the Flaming Dillos 1-0 because all the pitching went over here, I guess. And that's in 10 too. So it was a 0-0 game through regulation, and then in extra innings, the Generals scored 1 to take the lead and was able to win based off that 1. And that 1 RBI goes to Jose. And Xavier Washington with 3 hits, but pretty much nothing else going on in offense. Pitching wise, Ronson with 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, and a 1.74 ERA so far. Good stuff. Name gets the win. Rodriguez gets the save. Bremen gets the loss on the other side. And the player of the game is Jandy Ronson. Jose, yes. Pitching win ships. It certainly does. All right, so we move on to the 27th, and we would do these really quick, and then we'll get to the other game that we're going to show for the quote-unquote regular season. The Soroka is beating the Flaming Dillos. I think the Dillos lost 3 in a row now, and 4-3 off. It's a walk-off, and it didn't say who, so I will. Your guess is as good as mine. Who hit the walk-off? So let's take a quick peek at who hit that. Caterney gets the walk-off single, scoring Etla. So Streetport side, not a lot going on. Cheese did go 2 for 3. On Jacksonville's side, a couple of hits from Etler, Lindale, 3 hits from Caterney, including the walk-off, and a couple of hits from Dotson and Eliason on the bottom of the order. So Jacksonville could definitely score. Streetport side for pitching, Bowler Sr. gets the loss, Mosley gets the win, and the player of the game is Daniel Caterney. And Generals at the Spitfire. And the Generals will win 3-1. And on the Generals side, we have a 4-for-5 day from Andrews, and a 3-for-5 days from Sneaky Snack. A couple of hits from Stan Marsh as well. On London's side, you have Strub with a couple of hits, along with Aldrich and Stargasm. And on the Flint side of pitching, wolfing with 4 innings pitch. And gave up a run, but Salinger gets the win in relief, and Rodriguez get their 4th save of this tournament. On London's side, Grimes gets the loss. Still, pitch okay, 2 earned runs over 4 2/3 with 6 strikeouts. And player of the game is Sneaky Sneck. So now we're gonna get to the other game. And I'm gonna save this right here. We're gonna see the Sorokas at the Generals. And that will be, the starting pitchers will be Breeze Larian and Ryan O'Reilly. And from this, at least on how this is constructed, it looks like Jacksonville has the slight advantage, I would say, over the Generals. I, I okay. So that's a little more lopsided than I thought, but that's okay. I don't know how they figure this stuff out sometimes. But we'll just go into the game. Starters are Ryan O'Reilly and Breeze Larian, as I said before. So O'Reilly was on the mound versus Adler, and he will strike out for the first out of the top of the first for Jacksonville, with Lindale coming up next. Lindale will strike out against O'Reilly for the second out of the inning. Ronnie Anderson is up third. And they will hit a ground ball to the shortstop, and it will be thrown out for the third out of the top of the first. So Soroka goes 1, 2, 3, and bottom of the first, up comes Flint with Rice, Washington, and Jose. And Rice will lead off the inning with a base hit against Larian. And that is a fly ball by Washington to left, and that will be the first out of the inning. Jose up, and he will hit a little line drive or blooper, whatever you want to call it, over the shortstop's head for a base hit. But Andrews will fly out for the second out of the inning with Sneaky Sneck coming up. And Sneck will hit this one up the middle, and that should score a run. And it does. Rice will score, giving the Flint Generals a 1-0 lead. And as a walk for Copeland, and the bases is now loaded. Juice's base. And that is a ground ball by Marsh, and they will go the short route for the third out of the inning. So it's 1-0 Flint over Jacksonville. We'll move to the top of the second. And as a base hit by Kent Murphy III, who is now batting 429. And a ground out, a double play actually, Rude hitting it into one, and Caterney will now fly out to center, and that will be it for the Generals. Still 1-0. I'm sorry, that will be it for Jacksonville. I'm sorry. 1-0. Flint lead. Larian will hit. Will pitching to Vigosen, and Vigosen grounds out to shortstop. Minion up, and he will strike out looking for the second out of the inning. With Jerry Rice coming up, top of the order again, and he will walk to extend the inning. With Washington coming up, and Washington will strike out looking, and that will end the inning. 1-0, Flint still. Move to the top of the third. We will have Dotson, Eliason, and Bennigsen coming up. And a strikeout for Dotson for the first out of the top of the third. And Eliason coming up, and he will hit a fly ball to the right fielder, and that will be the second out of the inning. And Bennigsen strikes out to end the top of the third. So good job by O'Reilly so far, with I believe 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. Jose hits this one kind of deep, but not really, to the center fielder for the first out. Andrews coming up, and he will hit a little pop up, for lack of a better term, to the third baseman. And there's a shallow fly ball to center for Sneck, and that will be a 1-2-3 inning. And off to the fourth we go. Etler up, and he will ground this to the shortstop, but there will be no throw, so an infield hit for Etler to lead off the inning. Lindale will walk, and now it's 2 on, nobody out for Jacksonville. Anderson up, and he will strike out for the first out of the inning, with O'Reilly getting his 5th strikeout, make that 6th strikeout as Murphy strikes out looking. And Rude coming up, and he will strike out. So O'Reilly striking out 3 straight after getting 2 on. So great game so far. 4 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. No run given up. And that is a base hit and into a leadoff double for Copeland. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. Did I lose? Hello, hello. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Oh, I got cut out and I didn't even know. I sincerely apologize for that. Uh, okay, great. Okay, I enjoy my headsets like dying on me in the middle of the way. So, and Jose gets plunked. That's all I know. What happened? Okay, so it's 1 on, 1 out, and that is a base hit by Andrews to the left fielder, and there'll be 2 on, 1 out. And that is a base hit. Oh no, I think he botched it. So Sneck will move to second. Andrews will move to third, and Jose comes in to score. And that is an error on the center fielder. Copeland does strike out for the second out of the inning, and Marsh will hit a shallow fly ball to left field to end the bottom of the 5th, making it now 3-0 Flint over Jacksonville. And Bennington flies out pretty deep to center and for the first out. Adler will get a base hit past the first baseman, and that will be 1 on, 1 out with Lindale coming up. And he will ground this into third and to first, and that will be a double play, 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. So Flint putting on kind of a little bit of a show here on pitching. And Vigosin getting a double, at least a double, and he'll slide in for a double to lead off the bottom of the 6th. And those, I believe, Khan is now pitching, and Jacob Minion strikes out looking, and Jerry Rice will ground out to to the shortstop with Washington coming up, and he will ground out to. Oh nope! Third baseman bobbles it. They're all safe, but it doesn't matter. Jose strikes out looking, and the Generals do not score, and we're still 3-0 on the bottom of the 6th. I'm sorry, going to the top of the 7th, after the bottom of the 6th, I should say. Top of the 7th, Name is still pitching, and he will strike out Anderson for the first out of the inning. Murphy coming up next. And Murphy will get this down the line into the corner, and he will get himself a double. One on, one out with Rude coming up, and Rude will hit a little ground ball to the pitcher who will get him at first, but the runner does move to third, and this is a pretty deep fly ball, but it will be caught. So Katerney flies out to right center for the third out of the inning, and we'll move to the bottom of the seventh, 3-0 still Flint, and Andrews strikes out to lead off the inning. Yes, O'Reilly was dealing. Yes, he was dealing. And a base hit from Sneaky Snack to one on, one out. And a pass ball, a wild pitch. There's a wild pitch, and Snack moves over to second. And Copeland into the gap, and that will score Snack, and Copeland will get himself a stand-up double. Stand-up RBI double, and it's 4-0 Flint. And Marsh will strike out for the second out of the inning. Figelson. And there's a balk. Ragnarok balked. And he will give up a hit to Figelson, and that will score Copeland, and it's now 5-0. And Ragnarok walks Minion. And Rice coming back up at the top of the order, and he'll ground out to third for the third out of the inning. And so we'll move to the top of the eighth with now Flint up 5-0. Name is still in there to pitch, and that is a base hit to the right fielder by Dotson. Eliason coming up, and that will be also a base hit, and it'll be first and third with nobody out, top of the eighth. So here we go. Oh, nope. And Bennington strikes out, but it's still first and third with one out, top of the order. And Adler strikes out, so Name holding down there, and there's a new pitcher, and a ground out to the shortstop to end the thread. So they get first and third with nobody out, but they could not score a run, so it's still 5-0 Flint. And a strikeout by Washington to lead off the bottom of the eighth for Flint. Jose will ground out to first for the second out, and Andrew will hit a little dribbler back to the pitcher, and that will be the third out of the inning, and we'll move to the top of the ninth. Last chance for Jacksonville. Let's see if they could make any noise whatsoever. We'll have Anderson, Murphy, and Rude coming up. And Anderson does lead off with a single. And a ground ball to second. They only get one out, so it's one on, one out for Rude, who will hit a little dribbler to the catcher, and they will go to second to get the lead runner. And Katerney strikes out for the third out of the inning, so the game is over. Flint wins 5-0. Soroka's had their chances, but they could not capitalize. They did get 7 hits, but they had 2 errors, and that ultimately what caused a lot of it. The Flint Generals win 5-0 over. Over on the batting side for Jacksonville, you have Adler and Murphy with a couple of hits, but no RBIs, obviously. On Flint's side, you had Sneaky Snack. We're going 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and Copeland getting 2 for 3 with an RBI, along with Figelson going 2 for 4 with an RBI also. Jacksonville's side of pitching, you have Larian kind of doing okay. Did go 4 and a third, giving up 2 runs over 80 pitches. And Ragnarok giving up a couple of runs out of the pen. On Flint's side, O'Reilly was just absolutely dominant. 10 strikeouts in 5 innings. 10 strikeouts, 5 innings. Only walked 1. More importantly, gave up no runs whatsoever. Name with the hold and the multi. Okay, I'm not gonna try to say that. So good luck. If you can say that, you could throw it in the chat if you think you can say that. So O'Reilly is the player of the game in front of 30,000 people. Good job, good stuff. I don't know where this is played, but wait, where does? Oh no, why is? Okay, it's played in Vaughn's house again. I don't know why. Okay, one day I'll figure that one out. It's played in New York every single year. I don't know why. All right. So I'm gonna save this just in case. So we'll move through the other scoreboard. We'll move through the rest of it, and I think there's only a couple of days before we actually hit those the actual tournament games as playoff style. Jacksonville at London, and the Sorokas take this one. Oh no, this should be the last day of this regular season. 11-3. And so we take a look at the box scores. Jacksonville's side, they started hitting again, and the top of the order, all with a couple of hits, and multiple runs scored. Leading the way is Murphy with a 2 for 5 day with 3 RBIs. Dotson went 3 for 5 as well. Over on London side, Bonds went 3 for 5, and a couple of RBIs for Aldridge. Jacksonville pitching, Miller with 7 strikeouts over 4 innings. Kozak gets the win, and on London's side, Lamar takes the loss, and that's pretty much it. Johnny Lindale is the player of the game. Flint Generals at the Flaming Dillos, and the Dillos will win 8-3 over Flint. So looks like Flint will be 5-3 for this regular season. Flaming Dillos will be 4-4. The Sorokas will be 5-3 as well, and the Spitfires 2-6. But we'll take a look at the box scores here for this last game. On Flint's side, Jose 2-for-4 with 3 RBIs. Streetford, a couple of hits up top at Jaguar, and Johns for a 3-for-4 day, along with the Cheese 3-for-3 with 3 RBIs. Flint side of pitching, Brandonson, unfortunately did not pitch that well. Getting the loss. Shreveport side, Grigsby gets the win, Bowler the hole, and Wavos gets the save. I don't know. Huvels? Okay. And player of the game is the Cheese. Alrighty. So if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to save this again because if it crashes, then we could go back here. And this is where the playoffs will begin, and we'll take a look at playoff coverage, and we'll take a look at the tree. So the first round will be the Spitfires and the Generals. The other first round will be the Flaming Dillos and the Sorokas. Bueller, hello. Can you not hear me again, or? Oh, hi. Okay. Just want to make sure. Alrighty. Let's see. It's 30th. There's no games, and I think we get the games here. All right. So this is a best of 5. So we're gonna go through the first. We're gonna sim the first 2 games. Well, we're gonna sim until someone gets 2 wins, and then we're gonna sim the elimination games from there on. So just to make sure this doesn't go too long. So, all right. So for game 1 of round 1, Spitfire at the Generals, and the General takes the first game 9-5, getting a 1-0 lead in the series. Over on London side, they hit a lot, but only scored 4 runs. Strub with a 3-for-5 days on an RBI, Bonds and Aldridge for a couple of hits. Over on Flint's side, you had Rice, Washington, Jose, Andrews, the sneaky snack of a 5-for-5 day with 3 RBIs. What a game that is. And Copeland with a couple of hits too. So everybody contributing. Jose gets the home run. I don't think Sneck got a home run there. No, he definitely did not. But this 5-for-5 days, craziness. London kind of used up their entire pen here, with Sykes getting the loss. Flint with Salinger's getting the win, the third win, and Rodriguez with their fifth save of this, I guess this quote unquote season. Sneaky Sex says the playoff record for this for hits for 5. Good stuff. Good job, Snick. Amazing to see no stamina in pitchers. Yeah, the yeah they also like the stamina is a lot lower for this for some reason. Actually, I do know why, but I wasn't. But yeah, it's fun. Um, so the Dillos at Soroka's, and we're going to sim this, and so Soroka's beating the Dillos for 6-4 to take a 1-0 lead. So on Streetport side, Condor and Doe and probably all getting multiple hits, but that wasn't really enough. On Jacksonville side, Adler, Rude, and Caterney and Eliason with all of a couple of hits, including 3 RBIs from Eliason. Any home runs? I guess there was a couple by Streetport there. But over on pitching side, Kozak giving up 3 earned, 6 runs in total for the loss. Jacksonville, Smoothie Vert gets the win, hold by Ragnarok and Kozak, and the save by Mosley. And the player of the game is Little Smoothie Vert. So, and we will go to the next day, and we will see. I'm going to save this again. Yes, Bongo, you did well. I assume someone should probably answer him. I don't know if you actually could hear me, but yes, you did well. You did extremely well in that last game that you pitched. All right, so we're going to game 2 of this series. Spitfire at the Generals. And the General take, oh goodness, a 10-0 win over the Spitfire, taking a commanding 2-0 lead in the series. Ooh, and a couple of errors by the Spitfires. Okay. I don't care about that. Okay. Over on London side, Bonds with a couple of hits, Aldrich with a couple of hits. So does McNasty, but unfortunately couldn't string together to score any runs. Not like it really mattered because they gave up 10 anyways, and this is and Flint is just hitting all over the place. 4 for 5 days from Jose with 3 RBIs. Andrew with 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Home runs by Jose and Andrew. A couple of hits by Figoson at the bottom there too. London side, they kind of using up all their pitching again. Grimes with the loss. Just unfortunate there. Flint, Wolfing gets no, Wolfen doesn't get the win, but he does. He didn't give up a run over 4 and a third. Name gets the win coming out of pen, and the player of the game is Jose. How the hell did Jose have 4 hits? I don't know. It's a very good question. And over to the other game. Soroka is also taking a 2-0 lead over the Flaming Dillos. For the Dillos, Jaguar gets a couple of hits, Pryor a couple of hits, so Star and Gibson, but they weren't able just to score just enough. Looks like they did try to make a comeback at the 7th and 8th, but kind of fell short. On Jacksonville side, yes, this is playoffs now. This actually kind of matters. So it's. Yep, Sparky, you're up 2-0 in the series, so it's a best of 5. So you win the next one, you're moving on. Jacksonville side, Rude, Dotson, and Bennington. 3 RBIs for Dotson and Bennington, and a couple of hits for Rude. Over on the pitching side, Perry pitched relatively deep, 6 innings, but gave up 6 runs. I think he gave up that 6 runs at the last innings he was pitching. Fank came in and got a couple of innings out of Fank, and for Jacksonville's side, Kozak gets a blown save, but Ragnarok gets the win, and Nola gets a save. Player of the game is Kevin Dotson. If I win, I'm never jamming this again. 2 for 4. Yeah, well, Let's see what happens. All right. Yes. Did I save this? I'm gonna save this again, and then we're going to show the next two games because elimination games, and I will turn off BNN for those. And so we're gonna go here, and we will show, I guess, the general first because they're on the left-hand side. I'm looking at that first, and I'm gonna go here and turn off. I'm gonna turn this BNN off so the other game doesn't go, and I have to hide the scoreboard in a bit. So looking, well, you would never think it because it seemed to really like London a lot better, but it hasn't really shown that in this series so far, or really Armadingos was a better name. I think the Armadingos, it has a better flow. It does have a better flow. So not gonna lie, yeah, Armadingo does have a better flow. Um, but yeah, so it's supposed to like London a bit more, but it hasn't shown itself yet. But the Generals are up 2-0 in this series, but now they're, well, I mean, London is the quote unquote home team, so we'll see what happens. So let's kick this off. Lang versus O'Reilly. O'Reilly getting some love here because second time we get to see him on the stream. So I'm going to pause this for a second to get I'm going to get the scoreboard out of the way so we can see things. Come on. Okay, there we go. All right. Rice walked, I believe, against James Lang. And a grounder. Oh, nope. Bobbled by the shortstop, and both players are saved with a red hot Jose coming up. And Jose will hit this one into left field and will be caught for the first out. Andrews coming up, and he will hit this into the shallow right, and that will be the second out of the inning. And a fly ball, a shallow fly. Oh no, I'm sorry, a pop up to the third baseman for Snake, and that will end the inning despite getting 2 on with nobody out. Flint was not able to score. So now Strubs comes in and comes up, and he will get a base hit. Hello, I am. Wow, what is happening? Hang on a second. I think Discord is messing with me. I apologize for that. I don't know why it keeps muting me. Okay. Okay. Hello again. I am so sorry. I don't know what is going on with my mic. It decides to kind of just go away by itself. Hopefully it gets a little bit better. But okay, I am sorry about that. Marsh with a deep fly ball to right, and he will fly out for the second out of the inning. And Figosin will get it past the third baseman for a base hit. And a strikeout looking by Minion to end the top of the second with London up 1-0 still. And let me get some water because I'm thirsty again. This is why you usually have co-hosts, so you could stop and do things like this. So Sargasm will strike out, check swing that he's called out on strike, with Gibber coming up against O'Reilly. And this will be a fly ball to left, and that will be the third out of the inning. So London's still up 1-0. Moving into the third. And a slow ground ball with no throw from the shortstop, so Jerry Rice is safe at first. And a wild pitch again, or pass, no, this time it's a pass ball, so Rice goes down to second. And a towering, I guess pop-up to the shortstop, and that would be out number 1. And another wild pitch, that will move Rice to third. And that is a base hit by Jose, and that will knock in Rice, and the game is all tied up at 1 now. And this is a fly ball to right, and that will be the second out of the inning from Andrews. Sneck will ground out to short, and they'll go the short way for the third out. So game all tied after the top of the third. Strub up, and he will fly out to right field. And now we have Bonds coming up, and he will strike out looking for the second out of the inning. Aldrich against O'Reilly coming up. O'Reilly, by the way, has a 2.13 ERA now. And Aldrich does hit this one deep, but the center fielder catches it. So another 1-2-3 inning, and we move to the top of the fourth. Game all tied up at 1. 19 strikeouts in 12 innings for O'Reilly there. Good stuff. And that is into the gap by Copeland, and Copeland would slide into second. Why? I don't know. I guess, why not? And a walk to Marsh, so not a good start of this inning from Lang. 2 on, nobody out, and he'll ground out to the shortstop, but there will be a fielder's choice for Figelson. Minion coming up, and he will hit this in. It will drop in. It will drop in, and that will score. It will score Copeland, making it 2-1 Flint. And they if it would pass a diving second baseman, and Figelson will come in to score. It's now 3-1. So RBI single by Rice with Xavier Washington coming up. And this one, a fly ball to the left fielder, and that will be the second out of the inning. Jose coming up, and Jose will ground out to first, and that will end the top of the fourth. 3-1, Flynn taking the lead now. So let's see if London can respond at all. Arno, a fly ball into right for the first out. Anderson with kind of a towering fly ball as well to center for the second out. Pine coming up, and he was strikeout looking. So a 1-2-3 inning. So no noise from London yet. And coming up next for Generals is Andrews, Sneck, and Copeland. And a ground ball to third with no throw. So Andrews gets in with an infield single with Sneck coming up. Sneck with a little infield fly to the third base. Little pop fly infield for the first out. And Copeland strikes out for the second out. And we have Marsh coming up. And Marsh will walk. 2 on, 2 out. With Figelson coming up. And another pass ball. And both runners move up. And I think we have a new pitcher now. Renato. He will get Figelson to fly out to left. And that will be all for Flint on the top of the fifth. London coming now. Up the middle. For McNasty. That is a base hit. And a shallow fly ball to center for the first out by Stargasm. Gibber coming up. And they double him up. Oh, it was a line out to first, and they double him up. And so Flint gets out of that. Move to the top of the sixth, 3-1. Flint. And a little infield fly ball caught for the first out. Rice coming up, the same thing, a little infield fly ball for the second out. And this one goes a little bit deeper, but still a fly ball to left. And that's the third out, and a quick 1-2-3 by London to hopefully stay close in this game. And rain delay. Okay, there was apparently a rain delay. But it doesn't matter. We move on, and Strubs actually gets a single out of that. Good job. And Barry Bonds will strike out swinging. I guess they have C.J. Brandenson coming in from the pen, and he will strike out Aldrich for the second out of the inning. And up the middle goes Arnold, and oh, okay. Strub ran himself out at third. That's a big no-no. You don't make the third out at third. That's just poor base running. Shake my head. Jose coming up, and he'll ground out to first. It's the first out at the top of the seventh. Andrews strikes out for the second out, and we have Sneaky Snack coming up, and he will strike out. So bullpen hanging on, giving London a chance to come back. Bottom of the seventh, and Anderson will lead off with a walk. Pine coming up, and up the middle, a base hit. So 2 on, nobody out. And a base hit that drops in, and its bases loaded now, nobody out. Stargasm coming up, and a pass ball, and somebody came in to score. Anderson came in to score. So it's now 3-2, staying alive. Stargasm strikes out. Infield's playing in for the first out. Gibber coming up, and he will walk. So bases loaded again. And Strub coming up. Strub will strike out. And bases loaded with 2 outs. And that is a base hit by Bonds. And they will tie the game 3-3. Staying alive. Aldrich coming up. And he will ground out to second baseman. We're tied up at 3. Going to the top of the eighth now. Oh. Copeland leading off, and he will get a base hit to the right into the right field with Marsh coming up against Charlotte Winters. Marsh will, I guess, a very high infield fly for the first out. And this is deep, and it will come off the wall. Figelson, and they will, yes, Copeland will score on that. RBI double by Figelson to get Flint a 4-3 lead. And a ground out by Minion that will move Figelson to third. And a strikeout looking by Rice. It will end the inning. So, Flint getting the go-ahead run, or right now. Let's see if London can respond with Rodriguez coming up to pitch. And Arnold grounds out. Anderson hits this one to right, and that will be the second out of the inning. Pine, he does hold up, and he will walk with Connor McNasty coming up. McNasty hits this one deep, but it's a fly ball to center, and it will be caught. So they strand one. Flint still leading 4-3. Top of the ninth now. Let's see if Flint can get some insurance runs. Washington up, and that's a ground out to the first baseman for the first out. Jose cannot hold up, and that's a strikeout by Charlotte Winters on Jose. And Andrews coming up. And he will strike out for the third out of the inning. So, huge chance for London here now. This is it. Sargasm, Gibber, and Strub coming up. Sargasm will hit this one deep to the warning track, but it is caught for the first out of the inning. Gibber coming up. He will ground out to third for the second out. Last chance with Strub against Rodriguez. Strub beats out the throw. So it's infield single. Bonds will strike out looking, and Flint will move on to the championship. Congratulations, Sparky and the Flint Generals. Rip London. Yes. 6 saves. Yes, 6 saves in this for Rodriguez. Very, very, very impressive. Tight, close game. I couldn't have asked for much more in a elimination game. Let's see. Flint batting side. We have Rice with a couple of hits, Copeland with a couple of hits, and Figoson with a couple of hits as well. So they kind of spread it out. They scored 4 runs, and that's all they really needed. On London's side, Strupp went 3 for 5, but unfortunately did have the big base running blunder to end. I think it was the 7th or something like that. But did get a hit to kind of infield hit to stay alive in that bottom of the 9th. McNasty with a couple of hits as well, and we have over on the pitching side. Over on the pitching side, O'Reilly 5 innings pitch with 5 strikeouts. It's such a fantastic tournament so far. Rodriguez, like I said before, 6 saves, very impressive, just absolute. Over on London side, Winters takes the loss, giving up the run in that 8th inning. Player of the game is Ryan O'Reilly, and there was a 63-minute rain delay. All right, and we're going to move to the other elimination game. And that's the Sorokas now playing at Shreveport. And it looks kind of even in this. So it's Breeze Larian and Ladrian, I should say. I keep saying Larian, but it's actually Ladrian? Breeze Ladrian against Freddie Huff. Oh, I'm getting pings. Hang on. Make sure it's not something important. It's not important. Okay, nothing important. Good. Okay, I was worried. When I get pings, I get a little scared. Like something is dying and breaking in the league, and there's fires going on, so I get a little scared. Oh no, I got another ping. I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't care. Okay. All right. Let's kick this off. So good luck to Shreveport trying to hang on, and good luck to Jacksonville, and so see if they could get the sweep. Adler will lead it off against Huff, and he will ground out to third. Oh, nope, just kidding. Fumble bumble. Adler will be safe, and Lindale will walk, so it's 2 on, nobody out for Ronnie Anderson. Anderson will ground his pass to third baseman into the corner, and that will score Adler and moves Lindale to third. So the RBI double for Ronnie Anderson with Kent Murphy coming up. And Murphy will strike out swinging. Rude coming up, and he will strike out swinging, and for the second out of the inning. Caterney will ground out to third. Yes, he does. But Soroka do pick up a run, and they're up 1-0 over the Shreveport Flaming Dillos, or the Armadingos, or whatever. I like Armadingos better. Okay. And an infield single by Jaguar. Condor coming up, and Condor with a towering fly ball to right center. That's caught by the center fielder for the first out. Johns coming up, and Johns will hit this, a fly ball to the left fielder for the second out. John Doe coming up, and he will ground out to third, and they'll go the short way, and that is it for Shreveport in the bottom of the first. Going to the second, 1-0, Jacksonville over Shreveport. And a strikeout to lead off the inning by Dotson. Eliason coming up, batting .444 so far in this little tournament. And a ground ball to third, and he will be out for the second out of the inning. Begnickson coming up, and a fly ball to center, and that is caught for the third out of the inning. Move to the bottom of the second, still 1-0. Let's see if Shreveport can do anything with Johnson, Pryor, and Cheese coming up. Johnson strikes out for the first out in the inning. Pryor coming up, batting .325 so far in this little tournament. And a base hit by Pryor, and for a single. Bongo, no, there will not be an index. This is an offline file. We do not do tournament of any sort as the Cheese ground into the double play. for end the inning. There will be we do not we do not do an index for it, unfortunately. Uh, there is a way to have an offline index, so to speak. I will try to get that out. I'll try to zip it up some way, so if that helps. And back to the game. Anderson will ground out for the third out of the inning, so it's a 1-2-3 inning. So still 1-0. Jacksonville over Shreveport. Ragnarok did do stuff out of the pen. I just don't remember what. There was a couple of holes. I did remember. He did pitch a lot. There's a good amount. A strikeout by Gibson for the second out of the inning, and with Jaguar coming up. And he will strike out looking, and that will end the inning. So move to the fourth. 1-0. Still. Murphy, Rude, and Katerney coming up. And Murphy gets a single past the first baseman to lead off the inning. Rude will hit a shallow fly. Oh, I guess it's a pop-up to the second baseman for the first out. And a shallow fly ball to center by Katerney for the second out. Dotson coming up. And Dotson will strike out, leaving the man on first. So we'll go to the bottom of fourth. Still 1-0. Yeah, Brain, it's in the pen. I for some reason I had you starting, but I don't know what happened. So somehow you ended up in the pen again. So I apologize for that. Oh, and an error, and Johns will make it to second with one out, and John Doe Jr. will fly out to the right fielder for the second out of the inning, with Johnson coming up. And Johnson will strike out to end the inning, and Breeze Ladrian pitching very well through 4. Well, yeah, Brain, this is everybody's 100 TPE build. So whatever you guys updated, quote unquote updated, won't make it in. This is just off base builds. So you could have 40 TPEs afterwards. It wouldn't really matter. I wasn't about to dig through everybody's update threads and so forth too, and also just kind of keep everybody on kind of an even playing field to have them as their base TPEs as much as I can. And Anderson and Adler would come in to score, and the ball gets away, and looks like Mike is the only out we're going to get. Hello? Can you hear me again? I don't know why it's cutting out. I need. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I don't know why he's doing that. Like it's like if it decided to go to sleep. No, it's not you. Yeah, no, I think my mic just, and it didn't do that before. I know my mic actually does like kind of have like a timeout, and like if it doesn't pick up anything, and it kind of goes to sleep. So, but I don't know what the hell is it doing. So I apologize for that. And I looked away, and I have no idea what's going on. So this is what I get: 2 on, 1 out, and a double play to end the inning for Edler. So it's still 5-0 Jacksonville on top of Shreveport. For Shreveport is Gibson, Jaguar, and Condor coming up against Ladrian. And Gibson will fly out to right for the first out of the inning. Jaguar coming up. And he will fly out to, I guess, the right fielder will catch it. And Condor will hit a. Oh, just kidding. I guess the pitcher is not going to field it, and the shortstop is not going to throw it. But doesn't matter. Johns strikes out to end the inning, so no harm, no foul. Lindale, Ronnie Anderson, and Murphy coming up. Lindale will fly out to left for the first out of the seventh. Anderson coming up. Anderson will strike out against Horvez. Horvuz? I would never know it. So Grisby comes in out of the pen now, and he'll strike out Murphy to end the top of the seventh. Bottom of the seventh, it will be Doe, Johnson, Pryor. Let's see if they could get anything going. And this one is deep. John Doe getting... That's gone. That's gone. So they get one back. A 410-foot home run by John Doe Jr. That's the second of this tournament. Dustin Johnson will strike out and for the first out. And Pryor coming up. He will also strike out. That's fun. The Cheese is up, batting .342. And he will fly out to center, and that will be it. The Flaming Dillos do get one back, but probably need a couple more. But it's 5-1 now. Let's see if their bullpen will hold. And a ground out by Rude for the first out. Caterney strikes out for the second out against Grisby. And Dotson coming up. And Dotson will get a base hit into right field to keep this inning alive. Eliason coming up, and he will fly to shallow center, and it will be caught. So, Sorokas does not score, so it's still 5-1. Going to the bottom of the eighth, and let's see if Shreveport can get back some runs. Nolan Nola is pitching now, and he will give up a base hit to Ringo Starr to lead off the inning. Gibson is now up, and Gibson will strike out for the first out of the inning. Jaguar strikes out for the second out of the inning. Condor will ground out to second, and the second baseman will just go to second to get the force out for the third out of the inning. So we're going to go to the top of the ninth with Bennington, Adler, and Lindale coming up. And that is a ground out by Bennington for the first out. Adler gets a base hit against Conrad Bremen. And Bremen strikes out Lindale for the second out of the inning. Ronnie Anderson coming up, who strikes out as well. So the Sorokas cannot get any extra runs. So with Shreveport coming up at the bottom of the ninth. So let's see if they can come party order for Shreveport. John strikes out against Nola for the first out. Doe Jr. is up next. And he will strike out looking. So back-to-back strikeouts for Nola, with Johnson coming up as the last chance. And he will ground out to second, and that is it. The Jacksonville Sorokas will move on to the championship against the Flint Generals. We have in Jacksonville side, top of the order, getting hits and RBIs. That's what you want to see. Adler, Anderson, Murphy, and Elias getting multiple hits. On Shreveport's side, unfortunately, not too much going on there. John Doe Jr. did get the home run, but that was the only run they scored. Jacksonville side of pitching, Ledrian with no runs giving up, 5 strikeouts over 5 2/3. Nola came in with 4 strikeouts in 2 innings to lock it down for Jacksonville. Shreveport, Huff gave up 5 runs there, The bullpen pitched well, kept them in the game, or kept it in reasonable range, but not enough. Player of the game is Breeze Ladrian, and I'm going to save this again. Hang on a second. Sorry, let me just make sure a couple of things. I'm gonna make sure that's gone and make sure this is still up. All right. Oh, I think I know why. All right. All right. I think I know why my headset was going out. Okay. Hopefully that fixed it. So I apologize for that. All right. So it will be the Generals and the Sorokas in the finals. Let's take a look at playoff. Let's make sure. Playoff tree. Yep. No games on the 4th. And it should be the 5th. We get the game. So we will. It's a best of 5. And we're going to quick sim. Probably at least the first 2. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's hope. Yep. No, it's a best of 7. No, not. I'm not resting the championship on a best of 5. So. All right, the Sorokas takes game 1, 8-2. Sorokas can score. Over on Jacksonville's side, Murphy with 2 for 5 days with 3 RBIs. Rube with 3 for 4 with a couple RBIs as well, having a great tourney there between those two middle of the order bats. And on Flint's side, a couple of hits by Rice and a couple of hits by Figoson, but it wasn't really able to string much together. The Jacksonville team is not nice. No, definitely not. Yeah. Let's see. Jacksonville, Smoothie Vert winning is 3-0 now and did not give up with a 2.266 ERA, striking out 7 in this. Very, very, very good start. And Ronson unfortunately takes the loss with 5 runs given up and 4 in the third. Player of the game is Little Smoothie Vert again. So 1-0 Jacksonville. That is correct. We are up. Jacksonville is up 1-0. I'm gonna save this, and we will have. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do game 2 also, and then we'll see what happens. All right. And Jacksonville winning again. Uh oh. So they're up 2-0 on technically on the road too. So good job, Jacksonville. Lindale, 3 for 5 on the batting side. Bennington also 3 for 4 there, so contributing to the cause. Flint side, a lot of people got hits, but they only mustered up 2 runs. Rice, Washington, Copeland, Marsh, all with a couple of hits. There's no walk-off or anything. Okay, that wasn't. Jacksonville side of pitching, Dang gets the win. 1 run over 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. And Ragnarok with the hold, striking out 3 in that span. Mosley gets the save on Flint's pitching side. Wolfing takes the loss despite pitching really well. Had 9 strikeouts there. And player of the game is Dong Dang. And all right. All right, what we'll do. Okay, we'll quick sim this one, and then we're gonna show the rest, and whatever happens, happens. So, all right, let's see what happens. And the Generals scoring 5 on the top of the 9th, coming back to beat the Sorokas, making this a series again. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sparky. Flint side, 3 for 5 days from Sneck, a couple of RBIs from Andrews, and a couple of RBIs from Minion. On Jacksonville side, 3 hits from Lindale and a couple of hits from Rude, 3 RBIs by Dotson. Let's see what on pitching side. O'Reilly's having a very, very good tournament still. 5 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. Rodriguez actually gets the win and not the save this time. Uh, gave up a couple of runs. I guess it's not a blown save. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, they came back. Never mind. So I guess there was no save situation at that time. So in Jacksonville side, Ladrian's pitched decently, and Mosley takes the loss, giving up 3 runs in an inning and a third, and Nola did get the blown save. Player of the game is Ryan O'Reilly. All right, so now we're going to game 4. All right, one more, and then I'm going to show the rest regardless. So, and the Generals win again. Coming back to the top of the 9th again. Oh, there's some fight in these Generals on the road, so to speak. It's come clutch at bats. Flint. Snake with a 2 for 4 day. Minion 2 for 4. I guess they scored just enough. They had 3 earned runs, just enough to win. Over on Jacksonville side, not too much going on. Eliason did go 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Faye Salinger's is the winner here, and Rodriguez gets another win. And they beat Smoothie with Nola taking the loss and a blown save there. Faye Salinger is the player of the game. All right. Then we're going to go here, and I'm going to save it, and let's just start going through these games. Why not? Series is tied 2-2. We're just going to go through it and hope that, let's see what happens. So, it will be Dong Dang versus Jandy Ronson. Let me make sure all this is good. It is good. All right, we're gonna kick this off though. It still looks like Jacksonville has the advantage according to this, but that's always a little deceiving at times. I do like to warn everybody, whether you're like doing incredible in this tournament or you're doing absolutely like horrific, don't take this tournament as like a sign of how your player is going to be starting this season. I would tell you that right now. This is the tournament is very much a sandbox of equal talent. So a lot of randomness can happen. So don't take that into don't take it either way. Do not expect your guy to have like a 1 ERA the rest of your career, or or your guy's gonna like bat like 100. So. So yeah, Brain. Yeah, quit. Go for it. That's it. I would quit too. It's okay. I understand. I totally understand. All right, let's start this. So Adler will be kicking us off with a strikeout against John Ronson for first out of the inning. Lindale coming up, and he will ground out to short and for the second out. Murphy will get this one into the gap, and he will round first, going to second, and he will make it in with a standing double with 2 outs. Up the middle by Murphy. I'm sorry, that was Anderson. I thought it was Murphy for some reason. But up the middle, but Murphy did not go home. They held him. And Ronson strikes out Rude to end the inning, so I don't know why Murphy didn't go. I guess he could just be slow. Okay. Rice coming up, and that is a fly ball to the right fielder, and that's the first out. And that is a deep drive by Washington, but caught by the center fielder. Jose coming up, and that is deep. This one has a chance, and that one is gone. 399 feet. Flint takes the lead, 1-0, off of Jose's solo shot, his 4th of this tournament. RBI number 13, off of Dong Dang. Andrews will ground out to second, and that will be it for the first, but Flint jumps up to the 1-0 lead off of Jose's home run. Caterney, Dotson, Eliason coming up, and Caterney will ground out to first. First baseman step on the first base bag, and a little tapper back to, the catcher for the second out. Eliason, and that is, caught by the right fielder for the third out. So it was 1-2-3 inning by Jandy Ronson, and we'll go to the bottom of the second where Flint is up heading again. Strikeout by Sneaky Snack. Copeland up after. Strikeout again, and that's 2 quick outs. And Marsh coming up. And a grounder to second, and that is it for the bottom of the second. 1-0 still. We're moving to the top of the third. It's Bennington, Adler, and Lindale, and a towering fly ball to right, and that will be caught for the first out. Adler will ground out to first, and yes, he'll toss to the pitcher for the second out. And a strikeout looking by Lindale to end the inning. So Johnson so far 3 innings, 3 strikeouts, no runs giving up. Figelson will get this one past the shortstop for a base hit to lead off the inning. Minion coming up. Minion will strike out for the first out of the inning. And then Rice is coming up, and a balk. Wow, there's a couple balks so far. So Rice moves all the way to second, and that is a base hit by, Figelson moves over to second, and that's a base hit by Rice. That was score Figelson, so that balk really hurt them. And a little bloop single, I guess, by Washington. And Jose will ground out to third, but moves, and that'll be it. And yeah. So Jacksonville will come up to bat. Let's see if they can respond to any of the runs. And Ronnie Anderson leading off with a walk. Murphy coming up, batting .348, will ground out to second, and they do not turn 2. Rude coming up, batting .327, will strike out against Ronson. Ronson's 4th strikeout of the game. Caterney will ground out to second, and that is it for Jacksonville. Still down 2-0 to the Generals, and we will move on to the bottom of the 4th. And there's a deep drive by Andrews, and that is gone. Giving a solo shot, 435 feet, giving Flint a 3-0 lead. Andrews, who was cold coming into that at bat, not so cold anymore. Sneck coming up. He will ground out to second. Yes, and he's out. First out of the inning for Flint. And Copeland will pop out to the first baseman. And a line out by Marsh. Hard hit, but right at the left fielder for the third out. So Flint extend the lead, getting another run. They're up to 3-0 now. A ground out by Dotson to lead off the inning. A slow roller. He will beat it. Eliason beats out that little grounder. And Bennington strikes out for the second out of the inning. And Etler strikes out for the third. So, inning over, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3-0 Generals still. We go to the bottom of the 5th with Figelson coming up at bat. And he'll ground out to short, and he'll be out. Minion up. Minion hit this into the gap. And he rounds first, going into second. And he will have a stand-up double. Rice coming up, and he will strike out. Swinging. Washington is up next. And he will strike out swinging as well. So, Minion's double was for naught. And still 3-0. We're going to the top of the 6th. And a strikeout by Lindale. And Ronson, by the way, that's his 7th strikeout of the game. No runs given up. And another strikeout number 8 by Ronson. And Kent Murphy III coming up. And he will get a base hit into right field with Rude coming up to bat and a pitching change, Brandonson. But Brandonson gets Rude to do a little line out, pop out, whatever that graphic is, to the third baseman for the third out. Jose coming up, and he will strike out looking against Ragnarok. Andrews up after that. And Andrews hits this one deep, but back to the left fielder, and they will bring it back near the track. And Sneck will hold up, and he will take the walk. So 1 on, 2 out. Copeland will strike out swinging, and that will be it at the bottom of the 6th. Still 3-0. Flint over Jacksonville, moving to the top of the 7th. Caterney up, and Caterney will strike out for the first out of the inning against Brandonson. A strikeout by Dotson, so back-to-back strikeouts for Brandonson. Eliason coming up, batting 400 still. And this one is a fly ball to center, and that will be caught. So they will go in order, and now we move to the bottom of the 7th. It will be Marsh, Figosin, and Minion coming up. And Marsh lead it off with a base hit against Ragnarok. Figosin coming up, and he will strike out. Looking. Minion up, and he will strike out swinging. So Ragnarok racking up the Ks there. But he will walk Rice. So it's 2 on, 2 out now with Washington coming up. And Washington, hard hit to the first baseman, but he does feel it and step on first. And that will be it for the Flint Generals on the bottom of the 7th. We move to the top of the 8th. Jacksonville needs some runs. Rodriguez coming up to pitch. And that is a ground ball to third, and he is out. Begnickson, that is. Adler coming up, and he will strike out for the second out of the inning. Lindale coming up. And a ground ball to shortstop, and he is out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Rodriguez there. Moving on to the bottom of the 8th. Flint Generals see if they could get some insurance runs here with the middle of the order coming up. Jose strikes out with Andrews and Sneck following. With Constantine Khan as the pitcher. So there's a little ground ball by Andrews, but fielded by second baseman, no throw. And a fly ball right to center fielder. Barely had to move to make that catch. Second out of the inning, and Copeland coming up. Copeland strikes out. So Khan, who's been very good so far, gets the hold there to keep hopes alive, so to speak. Jacksonville's last chance. Jacksonville, and that is into the wall and off the wall, and Anderson will get himself a leadoff double. Murphy strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. Rude cannot hold up. Strikeout number 2 of the inning. And Caterney, last hope. Caterney hits this one into center, and it will be caught, and that is it. Flint shuts out the Jacksonville Sorocas, and they will take a 3-2 lead in the series after going down 0-2. Very impressive. In the batting column, Anderson and Murphy are the only one that did anything for Jacksonville with 2 hits apiece. Flint side, you had Andrews going 2 for 4 with an RBI. A couple of RBIs, RBI from Rice and Jose, and that was pretty much it. It was a lot of pitching here. So Dang takes the loss. Ronson takes the win with 8 strikeouts over 5 2/3. Rodriguez with the save, number 7 of this tournament. Player of the game is Jandy Ronson. Okay, so we will move on a day. And it's an off day, so everybody gets a rest. All right, so now is the elimination game. Now, can Flint take it, or can Jacksonville hold on? All right, still thinks Jacksonville is advantages Jacksonville. So let's see. Hang on, let me take a sip of water before. All right, so Jerry Rice will be leading off against Breeze Ladrian, and he will get the walk to lead off the game. Washington with a fly ball to center, well, a shallow fly ball nonetheless. It's a fly ball, and that is the first out of the inning. Jose coming up, and he hits that up the middle, and that is a base hit. So 2 on, 1 out for the Flint Generals, and a ground out to first, and a double play. Wow, very nicely done. And Andrews hit into that, and that will be all for the Generals in the top of the first. Adler leads off against Wolfing, and he'll ground out to the third baseman. Lindale up. Lindale a little shallow. Well, I guess it's a pop fly to the shortstop for the second out. And a ground out to third by Anderson, and that will be it. A quick 1-2-3 by Wolfing. And we'll go to the top of the second. And base hit up the middle for Sneck. Batting .324, or was batting .324. It should be .333 now. And a walk to Copeland. So first and second, nobody out. Comes Stan Marsh. Marsh hits this one relatively deep, but it will be a fly out to the right fielder for the first out of the inning. And a walk to Figelson, and now loads the bases for Minion. Minion hits this one deep, going back to the right fielder, and he catches it. But that will bring in a run, so Sneck will score to give Flint a 1-0 lead. Up the middle, a base hit for Jerry Rice. That will score Copeland, giving the Generals a 2-0 lead. And a ground out by Washington to the second baseman, and that will be all. Flint is leading 2-0 after 2.5. Murphy coming up, and he hits this one to the left field, a fly ball, caught by the left fielder. Rude coming up, and he strikes out swinging. Caterney coming up after that. And Caterney strikes out as well. So very good outing so far by Wolfing. Top of the third, and Jose will fly out to shallow left for the first out. And a ground ball, and it's bobbled by the third baseman, and Andrews is safe. Sneck hits this one kind of deep, but that will be caught by the center fielder for the second out of the inning. Copeland coming up, and he will ground out to second for the third out And we will move to the bottom of the third with Flint leading 2-0. And a line out by Dotson for the first out of the inning. And strikeout by Eliason. Bennington coming up against Wolfing. And this one is deep. This one is gone. A 425-foot Oppo Taco by Max Benningson. And that will cut into the lead. Is now 2-1 Jacksonville. And a line out to the first baseman by Adler, and that will end the inning. We'll move to the top of the fourth. Generals still lead 2-1. And that will be Marsh, Fielson, and Minion coming up, with Marsh striking out as the first out of the inning. Figoson's up next. Figoson hits this one to left field, and it will be caught for the second out in the inning. Minion will pop out to the second baseman, who calls off the first baseman. And 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 Generals still. Lindale coming up, and he will line this out to the center fielder for the first out of the inning. Anderson will hit into the gap. That was a little bit weird, but into the gap, and he will round second, going to third. He will slide in for a triple, a one-out triple by Anderson, and a little shallow fly ball by Murphy that will not bring in Anderson. So Rude is up, and he will hit this one deep, but it should be caught by the right fielder. So the triple didn't really help as they strand Anderson at third. Rice, Washington, and Jose coming up for the Flint Generals. Rice will bobble by the third baseman, and Rice will be safe. And a strikeout for Washington with Jose coming up. Jose will ground out to second. No throw to first, so it's be just a fielder's choice. And a great diving play by the second baseman, but he threw it away. So that'll be an error. Sneaky Snack coming up, grounding out to short. And no, that will be an error. Oh no, and 2 runs comes in. So now it's 4-1. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is what happens when nobody put TPE into their fielding. So, and a deep drive by Copeland for the third, but it will be caught by the center fielder for the third out of the inning. Oof. Oh man. I had to look back. I don't know if that was a first baseman's error. I don't know what happened, but that was not fun. Strikeout by Caterney to lead off the inning. Great stats so far by Ike Wolfing, by the way. We haven't, and a base hit by Dotson. Wolfing is with a 2.38 ERA, 23 strikeouts in 22 innings. Is that 24? Yeah, 24 strikeouts now as he strike out Eliason. And also another strikeout to Bennington, and that will be the end of that inning. So 4-1 Flint still. Top of the sixth, Marsh, Figoson, and Minion. Marsh grounds out to the second baseman for the first out. And Figoson flies out, and there's Ragnarok that came into relief. Minion will ground out to third, and he does get out, and there's a quick 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Jacksonville needs runs. Jacksonville definitely needs runs. And Wolfing still dealing. And he will make Adler ground out to first for the first out. Lindale up. Lindale hits this one relatively deep to center, but it will be caught by the center fielder for the second out. Anderson will a little grounded to second, and he will beat it out with no throw. So infield single by Anderson. Murphy with a base hit, and Anderson rounds second, and he'll get to third. So first and third, 2 outs. Rude grounds out to second as a force out at second, and that would end the threat. So it's still 4-1, and there are 4 errors on Jacksonville's side. That does not help. A strikeout of Jerry Rice from Ragnarok for the first out of the top of the 7th. Washington is up, and he will strike out looking. Jose is up next. And Jose strikes out. So, again, racking up the strikeouts by Ragnarok there. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Flint still up 4-1. Caterney is up, and he will walk to start the inning. Dotson and Eliason coming up, along with Bennington. And he will walk Dotson as well, so it's 2 on. So Profane Name has walked 2. And a little grounder and a double play. Oh, he got him to ground into a double play. And Bennington strikes out to end the inning. Oh, they get 2 on with no out and cannot get anyone in. And it is a fly ball to right. And that is caught by the right fielder for the first out. Sneck is up next. And that is a base hit by Sneck, who's batting 330? Or 333 again. And a strikeout looking by Copeland. And Marsh will strike out again. And Khan comes in and strikes out a couple of people. And oops, sorry. Base hit by Adler to lead off the inning, bottom of the 8th for Jacksonville. And a ground out and a double play. Oh, goodness, rally killers. And Anderson gets a hit up the middle to keep the inning alive. Not too many chances left for Jacksonville, but Murphy does get a hit as he gets Anderson to third. So first and third, 2 out, and Rude will walk. Caterney up with the bases loaded with 2 outs, and he will strike out as Winter strikes him out, and that would end the rally again. Still 4-1 Flint going into the top of the 9th. Let's see if Flint can get any insurance runs. And a ground out to the shortstop by Figelson. Minion up next. And he will hit this between third and short for a base hit. Rice coming up. And he will ground out to third and a double play. 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. So the pitching for Jacksonville, the bullpen is holding on. They're down 3, bottom of the 9th. Charlotte Winters will strike out Kevin Dotson to start the inning. So 2 outs left for Eliason coming up. And that is a base hit up the middle. 1 on, 1 out for Bennington. And no, they could not turn 2. They could not turn 2. Adler is up. And that is a ground ball to and they'll throw to second, and that is an out, and the Generals will win this. Congratulations, Sparky D, yet again. Good job, Sparky. Wow. I didn't think that would happen. Like losing the first 2 and then just coming straight back to win the next 4. That's very impressive. Unfortunately for Sorokas, fielding was an error. Fielding was a problem. Had 4 errors in this game. Don't think you really can have 4 errors and win a game. But on Flint's side, the batting hits are kind of scattered. They didn't really score a lot in terms of RBIs because a lot of them were unearned. But Sneaky Snack did have a 2-for-4 day. On Jacksonville's side, Anderson went 3-for-4, but no one could get him home. So for Flint's pitching, Wolfing gets his second win of this tournament with 2.25 ERA, 6 strikeouts over 5 2/3. Name of the hole, Winter with the save. And on Jacksonville's side, Ladrian takes the loss. Ragnarok, Khan, and Mosley pitched very well in relief, but unfortunately, unfortunately they cannot really muster up any runs to help themselves. Ike Wolfing is the player of the game. Oh man. All right. All right, folks. Yes, brain. Time to recreate. All right. Oh well, thank you guys for. This went a lot quicker than I thought. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. I guess I could hang out for a few minutes, and if you guys have any questions, I guess you could ask. uh, I'll be very straightforward. I do not know if I have the time to do this next off season. I'm about to post to see if someone else wants to take over. This actually does take a decent amount of work to try to get the file going. The history of the rookie or prospect, the yeah, Ginger, I'll try to export out the archive and and um, and I will load it up along with the game file. I the archive index is kind of hard to kind of sniff through, so I don't know if that will help at all. Actually, no, actually, never mind. The archive index doesn't show the tournament, if I recall correctly. That was that's why we didn't do it before. I will see if I can screenshot some of it and kind of I guess I'll post some of the stats. I'll see where I can get that off the from the tournament side. Yeah, the minor league draft is streaming tomorrow at 6 p.m. So you guys want to tune in for that. That will be hosted by LBG, Legally Blind Gamer, one of our best users in the league, GM of the Dallas Dynamos, and he will be streaming that at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And let's see, any other questions? Yeah, hype for the minor league. I'm telling you, like drafts are fun. I love drafting. So it's such a blast. Um, when I released, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Why is Sparky so good? I don't know. I don't know. I'm drinking water, brain. I'm really thirsty. Like I can't just keep talking and and hope that anything happens. I personally don't like streaming. I actually don't. If I'm streaming, that like I'm the last resort if I ever have to do this. And I've been doing a lot, which is not good. It's not good at all. Give us one more SMR ASMR. I'm gonna drink water again. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna end this here, and feel free to DM me if you guys have any questions about anything. And so I appreciate you guys for joining me, and thank you so much. I will get this stuff out by tomorrow. So have yourself a good night, everybody.